Hello and welcome back. I hope you're having a lovely evening. At least a better one than this hatchling. Okay, that was a good try. But I do sincerely hope you're having a lovely day. Okay. I don't need to keep these guys around, but they can die off naturally. Don't need to cause duplicate actions for that. Let's check how my base is going. No giant flooding messes in the base except for right here. But that's a known ongoing issue, which should end soon once I dig everything up. It's actually close to being removed from the stuff I have to do. Wow, okay. Let's do some digging orders. I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. Oh, they got still more over here, so we're not gonna keep going in that spot, but we can get rid of all of these. Okay. That can go. That can go. And those auto-delete. Gonna make sure we don't trap them. Okay. I get to give them more digging orders. Oh, I didn't get rid of those. I need to clean that off soon. So I'll keep one of these ladders around. Well, I'm keeping this ladder around, so I'll just build it up again to get over to here. And let's make sure they never get trapped there. Okay. They're good there. Oh, we can dig into this spot now. Okay, that's safe. Alrighty. Ah, it's all disappearing. Okay. About down low. Oh, right, Graham. Graham, how you doing, Graham? We have the brine here. We don't have the liquid pump because they cannot reach it. Now they can. Okay. That should fix that. And we gotta check on this monstrosity. Okay, this thing is not overheating. Good. And it's sending out a mix of fluids. And we're cleaning that out. So we're making 50-50 right now. That's acceptable. Up here, the temperature is still too high. But we can sweep out the bad stuff. And then start buttoning this up again. Now that we've cooled down the necessary parts down low, and then we'll work our way upward into the hotter zones. And we're going to make those a higher priority. Okay. What else can we do? Over here? Are any of these moppable? No, they're not. Okay, so we'll just have to wait until it gets lower before that. But we are almost to the point where I said I'd start filling in more of this stuff. Oh boy. Goodies for me. Okay, and they filled in more here. Nice. And we collected all of our little babies here, so we can keep moving on in that spot. We're not digging out the water geyser yet. But we'll dig around it so I remind myself not to over dig around it. Okay. Okay, that will do just fine there. Deconstruct 4. Keep those at the same level. Or not. We can get rid of this whole little island. If we just make sure they have a ladder. Okay, and up here, we're waiting for them to get these 2 bits before we go any lower. Cancel the bottom one. Okay, it just messes with me. Okay. Critter starvation. Yeah, I got rid of all your polluted oxygen. You got nothing to breathe anymore, Mr. Puffed. Oh, because it's tame, that's why it's letting me know. I thought they're taming you? Okay, well. How is my polluted oxygen going? Okay, we could use another one of these here. Power, wire. Gold amalgam sounds good to me. Okay, they gotta build before they can get rid of those. Oh. Need to get rid of more of this. This ladder is a pretty prominent ladder. I'm going to build the ladder through here and then leave this one for now, but it's gonna disappear. One, 2, and not 1, 2. Okay, so we need to give it just a couple tiles to get rid of stuff. And then we've got that chunk. Okay. That's looking good. Oh, new printables. Have we finished that little chunk of the boiler? No, they have not reached this. And it's not even on their agenda. Okay. They can reach it, though. Where's a dupe? Meep. Can you reach it? Yeah, Meep can totally reach it. Just nobody wants to get it. Okay, so I'll cancel it and start building my petroleum boiler back. I'll just deconstruct these ones instead of fixing them. There, that should give them the orders. Okay. 131. Okay, so this can be built back. Here is in the 300s, so we can also build back. Okay. Over here, we were going to funnel down, up, and into here. Oh, I just made this bridge the wrong direction. Okay, when they come and delete that, we can rebuild it and it'll work better. We can even turn this thing on. Okay. Now we need a new bridge. Yeah, let's just make that a 9 so I get to see it happen. Okay, Rowan's on it. My horrible steam chamber with the AEGN in the middle of it. Okay, and now we're just gonna dump all of it in there. And eventually we'll fish it back out, and it will have transformed into something we can use. After like a couple hundred cycles, but we might as well store it somewhere. Oh, it's already overpressured. Here I was thinking that it would take more than that. Wait, I still have steam in here? Steam, okay. So it's gotta cool smaller amounts at a time. Okay, well. It'll take even more hundreds of cycles than I thought it would. But, mission accomplished, we've done a little thing. Now what about you? Have you done yours? No. Okay, so we need to force you to do what I want you to do. Okay, I can't build that stuff yet. I don't want you escaping. Did they not finish deconstructing this in the middle of orders? Dupes. Dupes. Is it a manual that this works on? Let's see if it's the manual that it works on. Okay, so in theory, if I construct this, build all the tiles around it, and then deconstruct it, I should have a gold block. Wait, I'm making this out of gold. Let's make it out of copper. I do have enough copper for this second. So we're gonna use copper. So I'd rather have a copper tile for whatever reasons. And then we'll see if that makes Mr. Pip happy. Okay, I'm gonna call this low enough and order more build tasks. Add a 3. And do I have pipes in there? I do have pipes in there. Okay, once those are built, I can deconstruct this tile. It'll release a little bit of natural gas, but whatever. Shift. That will do stuff for a little bit. Okay. Okay. I know they can't reach this one yet, but they don't need to reach that one yet. Well, make sure they can. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they can't. They can reach 2 to each side, so I can do these 4 apart. Yeah, that should get it all. Okay, still waiting for them to build this. Oh, I never asked for the next block. Okay. Okay, that will get that. Oh, good. They're working on this over here. And they haven't gotten to that. That's fine. That's not a high priority dig. Though I do want to get to these little Slickster babies. That will get to that one. And that will get to the other. Okay. I at least want them on the agenda. Okay, over here, that was built. So we can build this back up. I know I'm just pumping crude oil around at this point, but I'm gonna go through all the processes, and hopefully eventually it does things. Okay, but we are overcrowded down here, so we need to make sure that this automation wire does its thing. That's made of gold. I want that thing out of steel. No way you're dying on me. Okay. So we're gonna stop putting more crude into here for a little bit. Oh, we've got the temperature down to 440. It's going down. Not down as much as I would like to, but hey, it's going down. Okay. Oh, that was a 3. Wait, I lowered the normal tiles to a 3, but the insulated turned to 3 as well? It's not what I wanted. Okay. Here, why did I cut this off? Because I was doing emergency pumping, and I'm gonna do more emergency pumping once this is a little bit cooler. Okay, they've swept that. Okay, they've built that one. Okay, and we need this spot open for them to get down, but in order to get to this spot, this one needs to remain open, so that has to stay open. Okay. I think that was the sound of more resources. Not ready for more dupes. Okay, and this is still working. I've got over 500,000 food. Yeah, that's all good. This thing's tied up, we might as well relieve it of needing to be done so. I probably have more incubators than I need, but we'll leave it as it is for now. Is this the puffed again? Yeah, it's the puffed again. Okay, I can deconstruct these. Give them this access. And they probably cannot reach that one. Right, I built this up here so that I could do a quick cleaning job so I don't lose all these resources. Because there's a lot of stuff on these tiles. Okay. So, base... No, shipping. Auto sweeper. And then... automatic dispenser. That should work. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it needs 2 ladders. And then this will just put everything into here that's in these little few tiles and then offload it. That's a CO2 geyser. We're not opening that up anytime soon. Oh, we need new ladders down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah, they couldn't reach that. Nobody's stuck over here, that's good. Okay, I cleared that one off. I didn't clear this off. I might as well do that now while I'm thinking about that type of task. Okay, put one there. And put one here. Okay. Priority 1 sweep, so they're not gonna get to this anytime soon. This is priority 1. Sweep only. And... no, you don't store stuff there. Does this thing need anything else? It's on a power. Oh, right, this thing, there we go. We're even gonna deconstruct this for a second so they can't get to it. Oh, did you trap yourself? Okay. Gossman's gonna come rescue you again. Right, Gossman? Requires learned skill. Okay, Gossman's asleep. So you're gonna sleep there tonight, Otto. Yeah, I know. I know. Okay. Are you able to be given more skills yet, Otto? No, I'm already overtaxing you as it is. Oh well, you're sleeping there tonight, Mr. Otto. Yep, that was Otto making a mess. 'Cause Gossman has to sleep too. Uh-huh. I'm talking to you in a patronizing manner, Mr. Otto. Like I do my puppies sometimes. What? Okay, this one needs a new tile built for it because the other two are just taken up by computers, and this one I can put the auto sweeper here. or the dispenser. This can reach there, yeah, okay. And this one could also use the same treatment. Though, here doesn't need all that much, because it only had this bit to fall. However, up here, we could do it. It's shipping, it's not automation. My brain thinks it should be shipping. Okay, so that gets most of it. But that's just gonna dump it down here. Okay, it's gonna take 2 stages. Dun dun dun. Okay, and then once that's built, we'll label it all. These ones are waiting for build. But they're working on it. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, they can reach that. To guarantee, yeah, they say it's reachable. I've just given them plenty to do. Yes, my dupes are occupied. Okay, the pip. Can we do the pip thing yet? Okay. No, they have not built it yet. Okay. Okay, fine. We'll not use copper. You can have your golden tile, Mr. Pip. You get gold. Okay, and here, they still have not built this yet. We're waiting for them to sweep this. Okay. I go for the other piece that's easier to accept. It's more accessible. Okay, sweep errand. Nobody's on it. Okay, fine, I'll cancel the sweeping because it's bugged out. Okay. Wait, if they do this one first, then they might not be able to do the other, so one at a time. And how's our temperature? It's going down. Very slowly. What's our temperature here? Yeah, that's a fine temperature. This should be connecting across and lowering the temperature, but it's not. Okay. Okay, they're not doing this. How are my dig orders going? Okay, I want them to dig across here. Okay, if we cancel this, they should be able to reach across to all of those. In the future, they'll be able to reach that. Okay. And they need a way out, just in case. Awaiting granite. How much granite do I have? I have plenty of granite. Okay. They haven't done that or that or that. Okay. They are not building any of this. That's fine. We're not in a rush for that. Okay. But here. This is what I really want you to do, dupes. Rowan's coming. Okay. Is he coming already? Good, good dupe. And here the temperature is fine. Okay, we're just gonna go up one layer at a time until it's all fine and dandy. Okay. This has shut off because they finally built the thingy. That connected through. Okay. It's just sending a red signal. I do not want a red signal, so we're going to switch it for now. And we'll keep switching it until it's clean. Which is gonna be such a long time from now. Such a long time. This build should not take this long. Okay, what's broken? Duplicate checkpoint. Yeah, that's fine. The thermonullifier's flooded. Okay, so because it's flooded, it won't do anything. Filled with water. What's the temperature down here? Okay, so we're gonna deconstruct this and build it back super fast. Because a flooded building is a not operational building. Okay, auto. Put it back immediately before the thing breaks again. Yeah, it's overheating. It's getting damaged. Okay, at least it's doing its thing again. And where'd all the sour gas go? Did it go down? Naphtha. Crude oil. Naphtha's from plastic, that's not from sour gas. I think it deleted all this sour gas. Because, of course, that was what would happen. Yeah, the gas vent's overpressured. And overheat damage. Okay, yeah. This is a lost cause. At least for a while. We have a teeny bit of electricity. Oh, wait, cancel. That's not what I wanted. We want a door. Deconstruct those. I'm gonna put the buildings. Okay. The what are they called? Incubators. Once we double check that this is 96. Yes. Yes, that's 96. Thanks to a little bit of guesstimation and then followed by math. Because here you can measure. Cut once, measure again, then cut and measure until you're good. None of this measure twice, cut once business. Okay, we've rebuilt that. We don't need this anymore. In fact, power wires. That can go here. Auto wrangle surplus. Just slicksters. Of all varieties. Give me a game. Okay. Now this is built. Let's see if this works. Where'd my pip go? Oh, did it lay it? It got old. So it laid a baby. Wait. Nope, there's the pip. It's trapped. Okay, so we have our tile and a pip in the same spot. Well, mister, you're gonna have to wait for your baby to come around before... Your baby will finish the task that you were assigned to. The baby's right next to the Oxyfern seed. It's gonna know exactly what to do upon birth. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Pip, that's all your fault. Okay. Oh, those are raining again, so that means that this got some stuff. And now it's going too hard. Okay, what's our temperature now? We are in the safe range. Okay, this. At this point, we need to switch it to... filtered out. Oh, we need to... yeah, this is set right, this is set right. But this is in the way, okay. Okay, let's hope that this doesn't block things. Well, I'm gonna see. If I turn it red... yeah, I can manually do it, but I don't want to override. Okay. Okay. This is now heating. Temperature of this is going down? Because the crude is... okay. Like turtles, eggs 1000 high! I like turtles too. I'm trying to fix this mess. You have any ideas? Oh, it's such a mess. Okay. So we're building this back up. This is on the Jeep's radar, right? Okay. Current errand and number 1 next up. Okay. So they're gonna build this row, and then they're gonna build this row. And this sour gas is below flashing point now, which means I can destroy this bridge. And then it will pump through here again and do it properly instead of cheating off. Okay. Okay. I think we can try pumping this now. It's gonna... since I'm adding heat again... this is never gonna cool down to the point where the pumps will be happy. So I might as well go while it is now. Okay, we're up to 3K in pressure out here. Is this open? Oh, not connected. Okay. That's connected. I'm very tempted to fill this thing up in its entirety and then just shove all the sour gas out the corner. Or whatever spot ends up being the space available. Because this is not overpressuring right now, so I might be able to get away with that. Because I've only got these ones left. This is 115 grams of petroleum. I think I might be able to shove it out. What's the pressure here? 500. Down here it's a kilogram. Okay, so I need more pressure before I try forcing it out. But it's gonna be here any minute. Okay, not a clue. I'm not even that far in the game. I struggle with stuff like oxygen and cleaning the water. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is my first run through of the game and my first petroleum boiler. And it's had so many issues. So, I hope I can help you with stuff. Even though, right now that's not looking very good for me, because I have this whole get up to worry about. Oh, this is gonna flash sometime soon. And that's gonna cause some pressure damage, maybe? I have vacuum over here, but I can at least try and barricade this spot from explosion. Okay. And what are you trying to do? Okay, so this whole getup is supposed to take lava heat, connect it in a controlled manner so that crude oil flashes into petroleum at wrong button. Crude oil. It turns to petroleum at 399.9 degrees Celsius plus 3 degrees Celsius for the state change. Because Oni is nice and gives us a 3-degree barrier of change. Okay. If I deconstruct this spot, I should be able to shove all of the sour gas out. I'm gonna have a flood as well. But it should work in getting rid of the sour gas. See that it's state changing now in front of us. Oh, but I still have that one brick. Okay. Priority. Those are 9s. Otto's coming. And Rowan's coming. Okay, when they build this, we'll have a vacuum again. And if I deconstruct this tile, it can build over that one to get a vacuum as well. Okay. So, a vacuum is better because it doesn't clog it up as much. And if you build over something that can't move, then it cleans it up as well. Okay, what is the temperature of it up here? There, that's a good temperature. That's away from the state change temperature. Okay. And the pressure damage did happen. So, I have a vacuum over here. Because all of this crude was not falling over because there wasn't enough for it to fall over. What if you have it run through the magma? Or will the pipes melt? If you have too much liquid in the pipes, it will state change in the pipes and then the pipes will burst, which is why these pipes up here are having an issue. Because they got over that temperature threshold and it burst the pipes because it changed state in the pipes. Though, since a pipe can hold 10 kilograms at a time, if you do a tenth of that, meaning 1 kilogram, then the state change will be prevented from happening and you'll be safe. But I'm trying to do the 10 kilogram version because it's more efficient and all that. In theory. Not so much right now, because this is just not working. Okay, but this... Okay, I'm gonna turn it off. I'm not gonna put any more in here for a little bit. Okay, this is sending green signal. Sending red signal. Okay. So we're at the threshold where that's all nice and happy. So this whole getup is working because up here I want it below 399, so that'll close this if it gets too hot. Here I'm making sure it is petroleum in this location. And then, because I don't want crude in this area, but I got crude in that area. So I need to now dig back into all of here and sweep out the crude because it's clearly not pumping anymore. But my safety measures here are functioning. Even with this closed, we're not getting too much heat to burst these pipes, but I need to clear out the crude because it's not passing through. But at least I have a vacuum again. I got all of the sour gas out. Because if you get petroleum to 500 degrees, more specifically, the temp shift plate, petroleum. More specifically, if you get it to 538.9 degrees Celsius, plus the 3 changeover heat damage, yeah. Why isn't this... That's sending red. Sending red, sending red. Oh... That needs to send green. Okay. Deconstruct that. This emergency. Before I break all my pipes again. Okay. So I had these wrong. When this is red, it is sending red, but I need green for it to be open. Okay. Okay, so this needs to be a not gate. Because if either of those are saying no, I need it to be green to tell it to open. Okay, and... Okay. Those are 9s. Oh, they already went through and fixed all these pipes. Okay. Nope, they didn't. Okay. So as you can see, the petroleum got up over 400 here, and that was an issue. And I'm getting heat damage now because it's not the pipe that's too hot, it's the crude inside the pipe that's switching states. What does the petroleum do? Petroleum, when you pipe it up here, you can put it into petroleum generators, which generate 2 kilowatts of power. So they're a power source. So I'm trying to make power here with less effort input. Okay, I need to let all of these fix themselves, but... Okay, the temperature here is low enough now because I've forced it to stay green. Okay. So I need to break in here and mop out all the crude now that I know it's working and that I've got the sour gas out. Which is a step I was hoping I wouldn't need to take. But it is. Okay, I need to get here. So this spot needs to be accessible. They can not reach this spot. So this spot needs to be accessible for these two and here. Which means they need to plinko through these locations. Okay, we'll try that as their way in. So they can do some mopping. Okay. But at least I have petroleum waiting to be used now. Okay. It just can't push the crude through like I was hoping it might be able to. It's not even pushing the vacuum around. Okay. Okay, what are you doing down there, Mr. Dupe? And... oh, I just have resources down there, okay. Oh, and they need to be able to reach these ones. Okay. Deconstruct those bits. They can reach that. Let's hope this is even moppable. It better be moppable, because oh, that's 12 kilograms of crude. That's a lot. Okay. Okay. And... why can't this be mopped? Cancel? Unreachable mop. Okay, we'll make it so you can reach it. I have a question from my world. My wires always get strained, and I tried using the power transformer thing, but they still get strained. Do you know how to fix that? Okay, so the power transformers, you're talking about these things, right? You have two sizes you can deal with. You can do the normal transformer, or just power transformer, and it will let you do 1000 watts of a wire, so it'll max out one of these little tiny wires. Or you can do the large power transformer, which does 4 kilowatts. You can't do any more than either the 4 kilowatts or 1 kilowatts if that's what the transformer you've chosen to do is. If you do more than that, the wire won't transmit it. So if you put yeah. Why is it not letting me click this thing? Okay. I'm just gonna stick both of them here where my dupes can't reach them. If you'll notice on the artwork, there's little arrows. You can see them in these spots here on the big one and in these spots here on the small one. That's the direction of flow. And you can manipulate that to your own goals. Right now, I have a duplicate treadmill, and I'm stressing this wire because I'm making it go backward. I'm putting power onto the grid through it, from a small wire to a big wire, which you can only mess around with if you're doing power onto the system, but not power off to the system. That's probably just going to confuse you more. Because I'm messing with the arrow direction. I'm putting the arrows onto the main grid from the little mini wire. Everywhere else, like say onto my electrolyzers, yeah, and gas pumps, from this one, it's the big wire to small wire, and I only have less than 1,000. Potential load is 970 on this wire, so I'm not going over the 1K. If I did the big transformer, I could do 4K on it, but there's no 4K wire. Your wire options, back to my little thing. Your wire options are a small wire, which does 1,000 watts. So it exactly matches the small transformer. Your other ones are a heavy, where's conductive? You have conductive wire. It's a tricky one to work with the transformers because it's twice the power load as the small transformer, but half the power load of the big transformer. So for the conductive wire, you could set up 2 transformers and connect the conductive wire to them, and then connect the main transformers to your main grid, and they'll both put on 1,000 watts, and that will be perfectly safe with that wire. However, if you connect the 2 kilowatt wire to the big transformer, it's going to try putting 4 kilowatts onto your little wire. And that's going to cause issues, because if you have more than 2K in potential load on your conductive wire, it's going to fry the circuit. Same way as if you put the normal wire onto your 4K, it's going to fry your wire if you have more than 1,000 watts of potential load, and the entire potential is being utilized. That's never an issue if you use heavy watt wire everywhere. Yeah. If you do heavy watt wire everywhere, or heavy watt conductive wire everywhere. Because the heavy watt, you can run 20K through it, whereas the heavy watt conductive, you can even run 50K. But you don't want to run the giant wires everywhere through your base, because your dupes will be very unhappy with you because of the decor penalty. Okay, what's the game on okay. Heavy watt wire, for every piece, it has a negative 25 decor. So this little strand that has 4 bits long, that's negative 100 decor. You don't want that throughout your base. Same with the heavy watt conductive wire. It's negative 20, so it's not as bad, but it's still pretty bad. Which is why you want to try running the normal wires and the conductive wires. It's just, you have to make sure that you don't overload your conductive wires with more power than they can handle. Does all that make sense? That's the most tutorial I have offhand to give you on that. I hope that is all making sense and was helpful. Do you have more specific questions on that? Okay, this is unreachable. Okay. So, that was my little tutorial without building any of it, really. That's just demonstration zone. So I need to use regular conductive wire with the small power transformer so they don't get overloaded. Yes. Simple answer, yes. If you ever want to run one of these thermal aqua tuners that doesn't display it here, but it takes up 1.2 kilowatts, so you can't put that on the small wire. You have to either use the big chunky wires like I did here. I used the heavy watt wire and paid the decor penalty. Or you stick the conductive wire on 2 small transformers, or you make sure that you attach the conductive wire to the large transformer, but only put 1 thermal aqua tuner per transformer. Because if you put 2 of these guys on the transformer, they're going to suck up 2.4K, which is above the wire's potential. But the transformer will say, hey, here you go, and fry it out. Okay, and I guess I don't need to sweep that spot now. We just gotta pump it out and let it flow around. Okay, so did my NOT gate get put in place? Yes, it did. And now it's sending green, and that's sending red, and that wants it to stop. So I want to give my dupes a different way to get through here now. So that I can take off this switch and not flood everything again in here. Okay. Oh, I've overfilled it so much it's going out here. Okay. Okay, those are 9s, as they should be, like everything else in this boiler. Okay. Now I gotta At least most of the crew did combine with itself when I opened it up again. If I deconstruct this one, I can sweep that tile. And if I get rid of this one, I can sweep this tile. This one's already reachable. This one can get me to these spots, and then we'll see where we're at from there. Too much liquid. Okay. Let's deconstruct this. We are going to over-engineer another AND gate onto here. Because I don't want it overriding. I can just keep putting this thing back on. I'm gonna stick it here. And then just have a wire ready to connect. And I can just delete and replace the wire every time I need to do this whole getup. Okay. Okay, so I'm not losing petroleum out this side again. Even though doing so would mean I'd get to collect it. Okay, I'm gonna check on my Pip. Mr. Pip. Oh, this one's still in there. Can I attack it? And how long until your baby hatches? Incubation, 89%. Okay. So that's got 4 days. And forgiveness. Okay, so it's dead Pip, but it's still there. There we go. How's the CO2 going? Okay, we're down to small grams. How's my main base oxygen? Way too little. Because I don't have a solid power system, but they're running, so we have enough. Oh, food is glorious. Okay, that's going up. Let's deconstruct that. Do some more digging. Before I check on the petroleum boiler again. Okay, and then we can get rid of these two things. That's clean. And this is not all built yet. Okay. Unreachable build. That one's clean enough. This one could use some cleaning. Okay, this is gonna be a two-stepper. First one goes there. Second one goes here. And we'll need more ladders across for this. That doesn't need to be powered. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's unreachable. Okay. Okay, and then we will just step stone across and reach it that way. We can get rid of all of this and that. Deconstruct this. dig. Play some hopscotch. Okay, all of that's good. They can reach it, they just haven't gotten to it yet. And then that will work, okay. It feels good to be destroying the world. How far have I gotten? Yeah, I've gotten pretty far on the world destruction. Okay. And these are not reachable. One, two, three, four. Okay. We'll deconstruct those two. And then I can get to here. Deconstruct all of that. Cancel this layer just so I can maintain it as a ladder system. Okay. That's good. Slime lung. Yeah, I've still got 2k of pressure up here, it just hasn't gotten its way down into the base. How bad is the base? Yeah, that's not a happy base. It's because the petroleum boiler's down. Okay, that's still pumping. And I have sour gas again. How do I have sour gas again? What's the temperature here? Okay, this is outputting a green signal. I'm so confused on this thing. Okay, at least I made less sour gas this time. Okay, crude oil is still low enough, that's good. I'm going to switch this thing to force on for a little while. Because I needed to cool off in here again. I might just leave sour gas in this thing. Because that's the least of my problems right now, having sour gas in it. Okay. And now I've gotten most of the petroleum out. That's too big to sweep, so it has to be deconstructed. Can I sweep these? Too much liquid, okay. And then this. They just need to be able to get to it. Actually, let's get rid of that one instead of this one. Okay. That should let me mop all of the little bits. Anything that's too big for sweeping, we drop down. Incapacitated. Bert. Okay, Bert's already signed. That's an emergency. Holding breath, yucky lungs. Properties. Okay, picked up Bert. Good. Okay. Bert's now in the safe zone. Okay, Bert can breathe again. Okay, we don't need to make this a yellow alert anymore. Okay. Bert, you should never bend that down there without a suit! Okay. I am pumping oxygen, that's good. And this pip, 91%. I'm going to cancel my little demonstration. Okay. What's my temperature here? 308, that's better. Swapping these bits around. Is this... Okay, that was too much, so that we're deleting it. Good. Deconstruct that so they can reach it. We already have that one set for deconstruct. Okay, and all of these sweep commands better be 9s. They are not. That's why they're not done yet. Okay. My phone died, but I'm back now. Yay, I'm glad you're back. Do you have any more questions on how the transformers work? Okay, so the dupes are making all of these mop commands accessible. Okay, and cancel that one, and these. Okay, good. They got all of that out. However, when the fluid changes, they keep going. Okay, good dupes. They can't get here. We deconstruct this, and then this. I think they can get in. Okay. Okay. No, I'm going to give it a try tomorrow and see if that fixes it. Okay, but I do have a question about the water because I'm using a water sieve, but the water still comes out with germs in it. Okay. So, the water sieve has no effect on germs whatsoever. It only changes polluted water into water. If you want to clean your germs out of it, you need to put some liquid reservoirs in your base, fill them with water, and put them in a chlorine room. I do not have any of those yet, so I cannot show you a good example of that, because I am a bad example of that. Because personally, my water supply is germy. Yeah, you don't want to drink my water, but my dupes are. I'm just taking the germ hit on it for now. I only have 3 of them sick right now, and it's not from food poisoning, because I cook my food. They're all sick from slime lung, which I've cleaned. Alt S. Okay, I've cleaned the top of my map of it. Because I've been cleaning the, all of the polluted oxygen. I've been using deodorizers at various levels, and that's been cleaning it out. However, I still have a heap and helping supply of slime lung in my area that's supposed to be off limits to dupes without a suit, but they've been sneaking their way in, and that's been what's my problem right now with that. Oh, and why is this one not doing its thing? Oh, is it the pressure bit? There we go. And I have both the sieve and the desalinator here. Okay, that's fine. I'm glad that liquid lock held. It's supposed to be open. That door won't hold water anyway. Okay. But what I mean by a chlorine room, which I don't have, but I have this little getup. You see how my... Wait. In my chlorine, I have slime lung. That... Well, I guess if I put it in a gas reservoir, it would go away, but somehow it's existing in the chlorine. Yeah, that's a thing. I don't have the full explanation on that one. Okay, so we've got all of the crude out of the top portion. We just need to mop it out of this spot. Too much liquid, okay. I'm gonna just try and shove it over and... That's gonna cause issues. Those 2 little spots are gonna cause issues. I have to do both of them. And I have to deconstruct this in the process. Okay, this deconstruct needs to happen this second. I'm losing efficiency on my build right now because the counterflow is not counterflowing. I'm currently trying to push the liquid out of the way because it cannot be mopped. Okay. And it just disappeared. Hey, posture. Nines aren't good enough. You've upgraded to double explanation point. Yes, I had to. Okay, I'm just gonna leave the stuff in here for now. If they don't sweep it before they build it, it stays. Okay, but they're coming and they're working on this thing. Jean's been doing a lot of good work. Okay. Oh, I'm closing it in too soon. Deconstruct this. Cancel these. I took out the sensor. The sensor needs to go back. Okay. Hydro sensor. Alright, well, I'm going to get off. I'm getting tired. Thank you for the help. You're welcome. Tell me tomorrow how it went. And good night. I'm still gonna be on for at least another half an hour until my dog comes in saying it's time for bed. He controls the sleep schedule. That little cutie. Okay, and above 500, that works. This one is doing its job and turned that one off for now. Okay. These sweep commands are all 9. Okay. If they do it before they close it in, they get to do it. Cancel that one. If I do that one first, they won't reach this one. Okay. So let's see. This sensor is red because we are above my temperature that I want, so now it has to go down. Okay, good. Meaning that it stays open. Good sensor. Okay, Harold's on it. Current errand. We cancel this row now, because it's not gonna get swept this time. Ah. Oh, they're actually trying to collect stuff. He was trying to do it in time before somebody else comes around to close it in. Okay. Okay, so we're still dripping the crude in. And it closed briefly. Okay, good. These are 9s, right? Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, this level gets canceled. Up to the next level. Wait, if I do this one, they can't reach this one, which they can't reach that one. Okay, so this is the primary one that has to be kept open at the moment. And they can reach that from there, so we can close this one in. And they need both of these open at the moment. Okay. I think... And they're going this way, so I can close this bit in. I just gotta see which way their plink going. And they're getting lime from down here. Oh, that's such a long distance for lime. Well, actually, that is closer right now. If they're getting it for the steel. Yeah, that's closer. Okay. No, they can still reach that for a second. Don't get trapped, Otto. Wow, Otto got launched up to the top. Okay. Okay, now this is the spot to get boxed in. They can't reach that anymore. And this thing is functioning. Okay, and that is giving off a red, so this is open. Okay. Ah, it's working. Okay. Oh, I guess I could have switched this plus or minus. To switch it red and green. The above and below. But it is doing its thing right now. So I guess this This needs to not be crude. Yeah, those both turn off the thing. Okay. Okay, it's letting me box things in just a little bit more. And the temperature here is too high, but we are cooling it down by not having the door engaged. How is it going up though in temperature? It was hitting 410. Well, it's gonna take a while before it lets more heat in. And that's what I want. Oh right, I was gonna set Control 1 should set this as the spot. If I do Shift 1, it jumps me here. Haha, I learned to control. Which I think you tried teaching me a long time ago, but I never got around to making sure that it was indeed the thingy. I have idle dupes for a second. And they're in the base and they're idle? Wow. That's weird. Oh, I have more stuff. Sweep. Whole map prio 1 sweep. Oh. No, that comes after the dig gets to a certain point. Can I reach this one? Too high. Okay, and... because I have this cheat. Sweep only everything. Add 1. Sweep 1. Wait, why does this have no power? Because I didn't set it up right. Okay. Sweep only, everything, 1. And then that's set for deconstruct. Good. That one's clear. Are they not able to reach this? Well, that's copper. And so is that. Which I guess I had plenty of. Oh well. Yeah. Oh, it's a baby pufflet. Okay, they're just getting to this slowly. I'll turn that on once these have been built. And this one, sweep only all, add a 1, awaiting copper wire. Why does it let me build with copper wire? So I'm going to turn that thing off until the thingies are built. Oh, and I can build more over here. Okay. Okay, we're going to get rid of this one. This cannot reach everything, so we need to hopscotch a little bit. And I can't build this one yet, okay. This one. Sweep only all. Add a 1. And this should start doing its thing any second. I did not instigate sweep. There we go. This can go to here. See, I'd rather them pick it up once it lands here. I use the machines to my advantage. And this is clean. So we can deconstruct the both of these. Okay, we got that one, we got that one. And sweep. Okay, and then that one can be on now. Add a 1. Copper. Oh, I have to cancel it before I can build the gold. Okay. Okay, that'll get built. Okay, you are going the wrong way, so this one needs to be a 2. Built it too close. And this is good. That one's done. This one. Why isn't this one doing its thing? Because it's not a sweet command anymore. Okay. Okay. We can deconstruct the both of these. That's fine. There we go. Okay. Oh, I didn't realize that would be dumping stuff right there. Yeah, that's a thing. Okay. We don't need to make it sweep only. I'm just moving trash from spot to spot. Okay. So many puffs. Okay, how is Greg doing? Not Greg, Graham. I named it, I should know its name. Pipe blocked. Okay, pipe blocked. Okay, deconstruct you. We'll build you one lower and then connect you with the pipe. Because going straight into the pipe doesn't work. How is the pip doing? Wait, I need to save this position. Was it Control 2 that sets it? Shift 2. Shift 1. Okay. My petroleum boiler is working better now. And this is lower than it needs to be. So that kicked in. But I didn't want it to kick in yet, because this spot is... It's just completely ignoring this whole thing. Okay, do I need to do this the opposite way? No, I want it green. If either of these are this way. Okay. Okay, because here it's way high. And this thing is not overriding, so... Send green signal if above. It is above, so it stays open. Okay. It's just, it's so hot, and even my thing is still closing the bridge a little bit. Oh well. It should take longer for that oopsie to happen on this now. New printables are available. Let's see what I got. Rust. Okay, is my oxygen recovering? Yeah, my oxygen's recovering. Yeah. Ah, solid blue. Only a few freckles, none of these weird lines. Okay, and these are both able to reach, that's good. Still have a large pocket of chlorine over here, but we have measures in place to get rid of it. It's just such low density air down here that it's not doing much, but it'll get pushed around. You did it! You planted the thingy! Okay, so now we need let's go with water. Any fluid should do it. My exploit. I can finally start it. And we're even gonna mop some water right here to put straight into this so there will be no having to go far. Yeah, that's right, Mima. You got water right there. Well, and we're done. Okay, deconstruct this. Is this water spot too high? I think it's too high. I think they were supposed to be diagonal to each other. Growth halted pressure and body temperature. Oh, this hack only works if you're already below 10k? And we're at 25k? Joy. Okay. Well, if it ever decides it's happy enough, it can do this. I think that's all I have to do. Liquid there. It gets sucked up into there. In theory. But that only happens if I have half the kilograms of pressure. Okay, well, that throws a monkey wrench into that plan. Okay, let's do more digging. After I check on petroleum boiler. Yes, it is functioning. But I want to not have it going all the way up here and just being open the entire time. But that's not really gonna be a possibility. So... actually, let's do a door. We're just gonna lock them in. Actually, I'm not putting the door there. Let's stick the door here. Okay, it's high on their priorities list. says food has decayed. Well, I've got 750,000 calories if you round up. I'm good. Okay, and then step 2 of this is this. And then I need to pump it out. Plumbing. Do we have a mini liquid pump? It can only handle 75 degrees C. Which this is not. This is way not. Okay, I'm gonna have to let that cool before I put any sort of pumps in there. Okay, Gossman's coming. I can at least make my vacuum lock. No, that's not even gonna vacuum lock. I'll have to insulate with insulated tile and then vacuum lock after it's cooled down. Because I was thinking of dropping crude here, and then once it's in this spot and this spot, I put a tile here, delete the tile, and then it vacuum locks. But I've got too much liquid in place to do that. So once they build this door, I'm going to insulate a tile these 2 spots until this cools down, because the surrounding sour gas will eventually cool down. Eventually. Okay, they have not built that yet. That's okay. Because they built this one, so I can at least go a little bit further. Okay. I'm not gonna do that spot just yet. Oh wait, they did do what I asked them to. I just haven't given them... No, not that spot, not that spot. This spot, and then they do this one. If they have the space to do it from below. Okay. There. Cancel that one. Okay. Deconstruct all that. Okay, they got this. Now we can go here and deconstruct this one. If we dig here, we can build a tile there. Dig here, build a tile. And then more tiles. Okay, these spots are safe, that spot is safe. Deconstruct that and that. Deconstruct and deconstruct. Okay. That I've boxed that baby in. Actually, let's give him proper boxing. Okay. Ha ha ha. And then we can do little hops. More hopscotch. Okay. Okay, I heard the little chime for new printables, but I want to label these bits first. It'll wrangle surplus above 0 of anything. Likewise. Gotta protect my Slickster babies. Oh, this one's flooded. And it seems like the Slicksters have disappeared from this spot. Eggshell. Yeah, they didn't like getting flooded in this one. Okay, never mind on this one. Okay, they're doing this. More dig. We'll leave that ladder in place because it will be needed in the future to handle this water geyser. That is hotter than I would like, but hey, it's water. It's free. Though I have other ways of getting free water in the future that I want to test out. Whether they're too cheaty or not is up for you to decide. Okay, we can reach all of that. Once they've built all of that, we'll start digging across back and getting rid of this weird hopscotch pattern. Oh, we've gone way low on this what? Okay. Did they guess? Yeah, they did. Okay, so we're going to deconstruct this one. And then once that's emptied itself out, we'll do a whole nother layer. And then do the same for this layer. That one's all the way across. Okay, let's deconstruct these before somebody gets caught on them. Back to petroleum. Whoops. Oh, I messed up. I just reset this to be 1. This is supposed to be 1. Okay. And the pipe is blocked again. Because this isn't doing its job. What do I need to do for it to do its job? Okay, those are all repair errands, but I've got to sweep this up. Okay. That'll reach those two. These two can be reached if I deconstruct this one. Okay. Okay, these are all flashing. We're at 300. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. I'm gonna put more temperature shift plates along here so that they stay the same temperature. Yeah. At least stay closer in temperature to each other. Because it's cooler down here somehow than it is up here. And I just don't know what it wants me to do at this point. Okay. Well, at least they're building it. They're doing what I told them. But I don't know why this thing keeps breaking. These are the ones that had issues. So I want to know if they're broken. Because this spot up here is supposed to be close to 400, but it's not. It's 410, which is way above the point where it switches over. Okay, let's check on Graham. Graham does not have a pump. Ventilation. Mini gas pump. Auto's on it, okay. Maybe I'll get Graham working, at least Graham. Oh. It should create a vacuum, and if not a vacuum, at least only have one type of gas in here. Let's see what it's doing. Gas. Because this mixed gas is what's causing the issue, I think. So it's doing a good chunk each pump. That'll happen. Okay, shift 1. Back to here. Okay, now that that has been built, we are 410 down here and 407 up here. Okay. At least it's cooler up top. For now. But the temperature goes down way faster here. Okay, it's not 410 anymore. We're 406. Okay. This is 402. Let's make sure it doesn't close at 402. It's closing at 402 anyway. Because I'm using an AND gate instead of an OR gate. No? AND should mean both do their thing, not OR. This is an AND gate. I need both greens in order to output green. Unless one red equals red. Or is it one green equals green? Okay, petroleum. If I turn that to green, we get red. If this turns to red, we get red, don't we? Okay. That's our issue right now. I need to make sure that double red equals red. So this is going back to crude. I'm gonna remove the NOT gate from here and put it here. Okay. Okay, I need it so it doesn't interfere with this. Because I need this to maintain backup. Okay, I'm gonna wait for them to build this chunk, then build the NOT gate here. Okay. And then I'll flip this from positive to negative. Okay. Or from above to below. Okay, here. Deconstruct. All of that. This is not consuming all of this yet, so we're good there. Then we can shove all that across. Oh, but boy, is this pump working. Okay, now this one, does it have the safety measures? It does not. That's why we've been doing this whole getup. Liquid. Okay, I've got a wire there I can't do anything with. Okay. So we can sweep this whole chunk. Wait, no. We can't sweep this because we're still outputting. We haven't cleaned them up all the way yet. 20 kilograms. If above, yeah. Okay, what's the issue upstream? These things. Generator idle. Disabled by automation grid. Okay, let's check the automation grid. It just says no. Well, yeah, we can leave that as it is right now. Okay, and we haven't put any of the bottoms on these things. Okay. Still waiting on that before we dig more here. Okay, we can start deconstructing this backward. And they can't reach that because they're digging across. Okay. And is this doing its thing? Okay, so we have polluted water 276.7, 4122, and 5. 5, 3, 5. Okay, let's go down to slow. 4593. 4593. It's not doing the thing. Okay, I'm doing the bead pump wrong. Because it's not bouncing all the way in and then out to duplicate. And we don't even have enough brine here. Ah. It's not boogering. I'll look up how to do that. Okay, let's make my dupes do more digging. Yeah, they're collecting table salt from here. Nah, dupes. Your travel time is inefficient. We can do better. Okay. I'll leave these weird ladders here for now. Okay. We got this chunk clear. Okay, we are going to deconstruct. None of that yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we need... Well, they can reach that on their own without this. But in order to get above here, they still need that. Okay, shipping. Auto sweeper. I wish I could see its space better before I take it out, but okay. tower. Okay, I was using gold. Good. It'd be easier if I just transformed real close. Okay, let's do that just because it's prettier that way. And they cannot reach all of that. Okay, they can build that. They cannot reach this. Okay. They can get all that now. They have deconstruct errands on that without giving them the next layer of ladders. Okay. I cannot give them ladders there, but they'll be able to figure their way out, I think. And they can reach all that. Okay. This is still accessible. Good. Okay, dig that. They can reach 3 down, I think, from the ladders. We will see. Okay, and then they'll be able to reach all of that. Except for this chunk. There, okay. Deconstruct that, and then we'll back out for the other one. Okay. Polluted water. How about the gases? Yeah, I still have mixed gases. That's messing with things. Okay. I need to move this up to the top. Okay. Deconstruct it. Puppy's arriving. Gas pipe goes down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 1 ladder. And I should be able to do stuff. I have a sneaky sneak? Okay, I gotta go play with the sneaky sneak. Okay. We have new issues? Deconstruct this. Okay, this is red. But we're forcing to stay green at the moment. Okay, this is cool enough now. Okay, I'm gonna play risky and deconstruct both of these wires going into the wait, no. This one should always stay. But this one I'm gonna get rid of. And that's 2 errors. I need to fix that tomorrow. Okay. Risky. Back to normal speed. But I am signing off for the night so I can go play with my puppy. And he is so sweet. Oh, okay, I gotta go play with him. I gotta go play with the puppy. Okay. See you later. Bye.